Welcome to the darkness. As far as opening hand goes, yeah, I love it. We're going to keep on this one. We've got Phyrexian Arena in the hand. We have Manamo. It's going to allow us to untap Ramses. Make for some fun shenanigans with that. It's going to get the graveyard pumped up. And then anything we want to lead off for turn one. I was going to go for Polluted Delta. Let's go ahead and get that down. And then, yeah, we'll just go and crack on Polluted Delta. Let's get down Fetid Pools. And then that way we can cover the commanders and kind of go from there. We're playing Ramses Overdark. Tap, destroy target enchanted creature. Pretty simple on that one. Playing against Multani, Yavimaya's avatar. Actually, I'll cover that. Let's go and get down Underground Sea. Do you want to go for Careful Study? Yeah, let's go and go for that. Let's go for Careful Study. We'll be online for Phyrexian Arena next turn, which I do like. Corrupted Conscience. Let's go and get rid of Sleeper's Guile. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what else do we want to get rid of? I guess we could technically get rid of Supreme Will. Because actually, Corrupted Conscience with Multani having Trample, that sounds pretty good. Yeah, I think I like that. It's something we can work towards. I'm just going to get rid of Supreme Will, and then hopefully between Phyrexian Arena, we'll get that card draw going from our opponent. Hey, you too. Best of luck. Let's get that. I'm actually really excited about playing Multani. I haven't. This might be my first time playing against Multani, so should make for a fun match. Multani's going to be Reach and Trample. It's going to get +1 for each land you control and each land card in your graveyard. Then for 2 mana activation, return 2 lands you control to the owner's hand. Return Multani from your graveyard to your hand. Now, as far as Ramses Overdark, if you haven't seen this deck before, it's actually it's fun. It's a little clunky. We may not be the best, may not be able to close it out super well, but it's still a really fun deck to pilot. In fact, let's go and go for Swamp. Let's go and go for Phyrexian Arena. That's going to be double black. We also run into Rhystic Study too, so if we can get that down and hopefully start taxing our opponent into paying for that Rhystic Study or getting some good card draw, that'll really help us kind of push our game plan. We cover both commanders. It is free time. We can talk about Ramses. Now, as far as this particular deck, what are we doing? What we're really trying to do is, ramp into Ramses as quickly as possible, get it on the battlefield, get it protected some form or fashion, either Lightning Greaves or Swiftfoot Boots, and then Sunken Hollow, okay. And then see what else. Drawn to Read the Bones. Let's go ahead and go for Rhystic Study. That's going to be 1, 2, 3. And let's go ahead and get Sunken Hollow, put that into play tapped, and then anything else we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. But yeah, we're looking to get some enchantments on our opponent's creatures and then really take advantage of that tap ability. Now, one of the main themes that we are running in Ramses is going to be a lot of the black enchantments. They have a sub-theme of, if this creature dies, return to the battlefield under our control. So we have stuff like, where is that? I think Unhallowed Pact. Got Primetime coming down. And yeah, we've got Primetime on turn 4 and our opponents being able to pay for a Rhystic Study for 1. So, all right, they're going to get down Primetime. Now, one thing that we can do is we will be online for Corrupted Conscience. It's going to allow us next turn to at least get a few more lands on the battlefield. So, I think I kind of like going for that. I typically don't run Infect in a lot of my decks, but in a deck like this, we need every little bit of help that we can get. And so, gaining control of one of their big beater creatures, also allowing us to get some lands sounds like a pretty good deal. So, we're probably going to go for that next turn. Our opponent might have some sort of enchantment removal in their hand. We'll kind of see what's going to happen, though. Okay, opponent grabs Temple of the False God, and they also grab Shrine. They're going to kick the turn back over. Yeah, I do like going for Corrupted Conscience on this one. I'm just going to get down Scalding Tarn. Ooh, drawing the Jace. Liking this hand a lot. Let's go ahead and go for the Scalding Tarn activation. We might go ahead and shock on this one. Well, we have a bunch of dual sources and Manamo. We're just going to grab an island off this one, just to be a little bit safe. Let's go and go for Corrupted Conscience on Primeval Titan. That's going to be blue, blue. Now we have Infect, Primetime coming down, and then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. Now, I should highlight that if you are watching this video and you're sitting there saying, hey, I thought Primetime was banned, it is not banned. It is banned in 1 versus 1 commander. It is banned in regular paper commander that you play at your store. But Primetime is not banned in 1 versus 1 commander, which doesn't really make sense, but anyway, it is what it is. It's not banned in 1 versus 1 commander. This is what I'm recording, 1 versus 1 Magic Online commander. So if you're confused as to why Primetime's on the battlefield, that is why. I'm playing a special version of commander. Basically, it's just online dual commander is what it breaks down to. All right, but it's going to go for Fierce Empath. Search your library for a creature card with 6 or greater. See what they're going to reveal off of that one. But yeah, as far as Ramses goes, when I originally built the deck, I had a ton of enchantments in here. And it was a lot of fun to get that going. But you ended up with some really cluttered hands, some really kind of hands that just didn't really go anywhere. So as far as the actual Ramses enchantment package, we've only probably got about 10 enchantments in here that really work really well with Ramses. You know, a lot of these different enchantments that we're running get some extra value. If we, you know, enchant a creature and we destroy that creature, we get to destroy an additional creature, or let's say that we do destroy the enchanted creature, we're just going to be able to return to our side of the battlefield. So there's just a lot of you know, interesting enchantments in black-blue that allow you to just get a little bit of extra value and at the same time take advantage of Ramses' tap-out ability. Outside of that, we definitely want to get some good ramp going because we are looking at a converted mana cost 6 commander and one trip to the command zone, and sometimes it's really hard to bounce back from that. All right, opponent's going to get down Seedborn Muse, and they're going to have 4 cards in the hand, so let's see what we're going to do on this one. Let's get the Phyrexian Arena trigger going. Drawn to Arcane Denial. And drawn to Swiftfoot Boots. Let's do this. Let's go and get down Manamo. Do you want to go for Primetime, swinging across? Or it's going to be 1, 2... Yeah, actually, let's go and go for that. At least we're going to kind of force some infect damage on our opponent. And then, yeah, I kind of like that. We'll also get a couple lands on the battlefield, too. Look at this. Ramping in black-blue. Yes, we're going to use that ability. We'll never get to use this ability again with Ramses. Let's see. What do we want to grab? Let's go and go for Command Beacon. Let's go and grab Temple of the False God. We're going to have those enter the battlefield. Swinging in for 6 infect damage, see if our opponent wants to offer up any blocks. Primetime does have trample too, so that's going to be 6 total infect that we've dealt to our opponent. We are looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do some setting up. Let's go for Swiftfoot Boots. Now, we could go for Jace, but unfortunately, if we get down Jace, we're not really going to be able to do much to protect it. They're going to be able to swing in. It's going to go for Dimir Signet, and that will keep us online for Arcane Denial next turn. We'll at least net an additional card draw off of that. Do we want to put Swiftfoot Boots onto Primetime? Yeah, let's go and go for that. We are playing against Mono Green, so more than likely they'll be able to take care of Corrupted Conscience, but at least at this point, we'll at least kind of force the issue of having it protected on that one. All right, anything else, we're going to pass the turn to our opponent. So we do have 2 mana up for Arcane Denial, and as far as next turn goes, we do have Swiftfoot Boots down, and we can get down Ramses Overdark, and then kind of start going from there. But this is pretty much what you want the deck to do. You know, we don't have a lot of enchantments in the hand. You want to get to that late game where you have a lot of mana. You can tap out for Ramses Overdark. It's almost kind of like Ramses Overdark. It's kind of like plan B for the deck. We just have kind of like a Ramses package within a black-blue control deck. That's kind of about the best way to look at it. Some of the other good creatures we do have in here are going to be the Scarab God and Sire of Stagnation. Can't be countered. Yep, that's fine. I'm going to get that down. But yeah, that's pretty much what you want to do. You know, ramp into a lot of mana, get down Ramses, and then once you have some really good card draw established, either Phyrexian Arena or something like Jace the Mind Sculptor, you can kind of start going from there. All right, Soul of the Harvest can't be countered. Yeah, actually can't be countered because of Prowling Serpapod. See if they're going to pay that 1 on Mystic Study. Okay, now what we can do next turn, if we do swing him at Primetime, we might end up going for that simply just to get a little bit of extra lands on the battlefield. We have Jace to really kind of start digging, and if we can find some sort of spot removal for Prowling, that also allows us to maybe kind of counter some of our opponent's stuff. See anything else, we're going to kick the turn back over to us. See what we draw into. Draw into Control Magic, and we draw into Despondency. Let's do this. Let's go and go for Control Magic on Soul of Harvest. Yeah, I think I like that. Let's go for that on Soul of Harvest. It's going to be 1, 2, and then blue off the Manamo. Still going to give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 total mana if we want to get down Ramses. All right, we're going to take care of Soul of Harvest. That also allows us to kind of push in with Primetime if we want to. And actually, if we go for Jace, we can bounce a creature back to the hand. Yeah, let's do this. Let's go for Jace. I kind of like going for a little bit more of a control style on this one. Let's go for Command Beacon, Dimir Signet. Let's go black and then blue. Let's go and tap out for Jace the Mind Sculptor. And let's go and bounce Prowling back to the hand. There we go. Let's go and use that -1 ability, return Prowling back to the hand. It also allows us to go for Arcane Denial. If they have something they want to flash in or something like that, we can still have access to Arcane Denial. All right, let's go and push it with Primetime. Let's go and get those 2 lands onto the battlefield. Yes, we're going to... I wish we could just tell Magic Online, like, yes, I'll never not want to get 2 lands on the battlefield. Arcane Lighthouse, do we need that? Let's see, what do we want to grab? Let's go and grab Urborg, and let's go ahead and grab Choked. Yeah, I think I like you. We'll grab Choked. Let's get into the battlefield tapped. No, we're not going to reveal an island or land off that. Now, we are swinging with 6/6 Infects. Our opponents are probably going to have to end up chump blocking with Seedborn Muse on this one if they don't want to die to Infect. If not, then we're going to be able to seal it with that. All right, we're going to see Elvish Mystic come blocking in, and then also Seedborn Muse. Let's go and do this. We definitely want to take care of Seedborn Muse. Okay, so we're going to have Seedborn Muse, Elvish Mystic, and then Fierce Empath. Okay. It's going to take care of all of their creatures, still leaving prime time on the battlefield, and then anything else, we're going to pass the turn to our opponent. Now, our opponent does have Prowling back in the head. We did bounce it back to Jace, so if they do end up tapping out for something else besides that, getting on the battlefield first, we still have Arcane Denial. But yeah, you kind of see where we haven't gotten down Ramses just yet, but we do have Despondency in the hand, so whenever it's put into the graveyard, return Despondency to its owner's hand. So this is kind of one of those enchantments that allows us to just really get some extra value off of Ramses. You know, we can go for Despondency, get down Ramses, go for the, yes, we're going to use that ability. Draw a card, draw into Fact or Fiction. So you get that back to the hand, then we can also untap Ramses and put it onto another creature and kind of take care of that. In fact, our opponent's going to have to get some sort of creature on the battlefield, otherwise we're at least going to be able to swing in for Infect, since we do have 6 Infect on our opponent. All right, opponent's going to scoop it up on this one. We had Prime Time coming across next. Oh, actually, let me pull it back up. Okay, this is where our opponent scooped it up, but you can see we're going to be swinging with Prime Time next turn. Our opponent was going to be tapping out for something, but with them not being able to swing in with Prowling, they could have tapped out for Multani, which would have kind of complicated us blocking. But since we do have Jace, we're going to be able to use that -1 ability and bounce whatever creature back to the hand. And it's still just kind of one of those spots where once we have that Infect, we're really putting that pressure on our opponent. Kind of makes it hard for them to really get any sort of game plan going from there. Now, let's say that our opponent was able to deal with Prime Time. We're actually still in an okay spot. Like I mentioned earlier, Ramses Overdark is kind of like plan B for the deck. Once we finally get down Ramses Overdark, we get down Despondency, and it's going to allow us to really start cleaning up the board and start swinging with our beat stick creature of choice, especially, you know, having something like Soul of the Harvest on the battlefield. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield, we're going to get some more card draw off of that, and we're still going to be able to dig a little bit deeper with Fact or Fiction and Read the Bones, which you never got to cast. But, you know, I'm not a huge fan of Infect in Commander, but in a deck like this, it's one of the win conditions that we have to go for, since Ramses does cost 6, and Ramses is a little hard to get online. But you can see how fun it is just to kind of, you know, use other people's creatures and kind of help you win the game. Definitely shout out to our opponent for sticking out as long as they did. I know Infect's not a popular win condition in Commander. But anyways, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.